Welcome back everybody to another F124 career mode episode. Today heading off to the Australian Grand Prix, so let's jump on into it. So if you haven't noticed already, the audios are not lining up, but that's because I'm not sure what happened. I did all the correct steps, but my mic did not record. I've still got desktop audio, but I do not have any voiceovers. So looking at the specialist, going to go with the 170 mile per hour objective there, or the goal. I was looking at these goals here and decided to go with the 198 because we weren't going to finish higher than our teammate. I didn't think, that was just my reasoning behind it. Complete any session with a flashback, which we don't do anyways, and no more than 3 penalties. That wasn't likely to happen either, but we don't use flashbacks anyways. And then either one practice program or perfect the race strategy practice program. Easy one there, just complete the one practice program. Looking at our ratings there, and our accolades, race start is the only thing that we've made any progress on, and that we've made 2 restarts as we're in our 3rd episode. We're looking at a rivalry here
to determine who will win. The teammate rivalry uses various metrics displayed here, and whoever leads most of these will be classed as leading the rivalry. The bottom of this screen will show you what rewards are available and when you'll get them.
So with that, Ocon obviously being us and everything at the moment, so he is leading the way. Can kind of see our different ratings. Well, you guys can't, but I can see the different ratings and how they've progressed over the course of the season so far. And then I took a quick look to see if we have jumped anybody in terms of our rating. We were ahead of Sargent at the beginning, and we are still so, but we have not jumped anybody. Magnussen is the next closest, and he's a ways up there. So moving on to the R&D side of things, still waiting on parts to come in there, so waiting on that and that as well, and still waiting on that, nothing else to upgrade there. So we're just kind of playing the waiting game here and checking out the engine components. Everything looks quite nice, no need to make any changes at the moment. Advance some time here.
Right, I'm afraid to say that we've had a major issue on the production line earlier this week. The entire development package for the weekend
R&D part fail there. That was one that Ocon had started, but we're going to redevelop it. Take some of the credit there and back out now and move. Okay, that's just our vehicle performance comparison. Keep advancing. We got another part that has failed, another one of Ocon's. So we go over to the R&D and go down and try to redevelop it, but we can only do 1 upgrade at a time in each department. But between the 2 of us, we can make 2 upgrades. That's kind of what I'm going to explain right now in the video. But we keep advancing. More parts have failed.
We've had a major issue on the production line.
We've not had one go through successfully. So now it's just a matter of where we want to go. We went with Okan's upgrade. No. Yeah, we went with Okan's initial upgrade just because it was a little bit cheaper. And we went ahead and redeveloped the durability upgrade, even though I don't usually focus on that. I'd rather focus on the performance, but did that instead. But we've got that one part that has come in before the race weekend, and let's see here. Oh, it does, I hadn't noticed that before. It does look like Okan jumped in and got that second part of the aero department going, or did I do that? I don't remember. But I did kind of notice that there. We do not have enough to get. No, he must have, because we had our chassis one next. I decided to change to the long session length. It's going to give us a little bit longer race. Hopefully, give us some better racing, make stuff more entertaining. And with that, I'm going to do the practice sessions off screen. And with that, the resource points have come in. There we are. We're up to 300. Got 14 laps in there. Gained some experience, but not a ton. And looking at the breakdown, I don't get any extra points from 13 compared to 14 laps completed in practice sessions. So we'll have to see how that works out as we head to qualifying. Take a look at the messages as we move here. So nothing really to look at there. Move on. And we're off to qualifying, jumping straight into it. Feeling pretty confident going into qualifying, simply in the fact that we had a qualifying pace practice program and the practice sessions, and when I did so, I had an estimated position of 11th, so that gives me a fair bit of confidence heading into qualifying that we may have a shot at something good here, but you never know. Ultimately, what's going to happen. So just trying to run the best laps that we can. Staying pretty consistent here. A little bit late getting back to the throttle there, as I'm noticing. And we move through, not worrying about the ERS. We've just got that in a hot lap. And moving here, we're really good through that S's section. We're able to make up a lot of time where we might otherwise be slow. But as we move here, through the rest of the lap, up through the gears and across the line. Very good run there. Second and third, but almost 9/10 off of Verstappen. So that had me worried there a little bit. As we took a look, we were sitting in fifth, and Ocon was making a lap. We were better in sectors 1 and 2 as we get ready to advance some time. There we go. But Ocon is quite a bit faster to sector 3, but we are eking him out by just a little bit here. Advancing through some time, kind of debating on what we want to do here in terms of, do we make another lap? We're sitting in 12th and 13th at the moment. I decide we're going to set the tires to a new set and go out for another lap. We can always go back out on a worn set in the next session. So advancing time here, waiting to see what we can do. We're kind of in that dead zone between Piastri and Ocon. There's 3 tenths there, and we're just kind of sitting in the middle of it, but heading out with about 3.5 minutes left in the session, and feeling confident that we can get it done, but just needing to see. And
we've dropped to P12.
There's our little notification that we've dropped P12 as well. Not a great run out of here. I was messing with some of the ERS stuff, but we're all good. Alright, up some time. And good run through there. Still up some more time, which we were quite liking. A little bit unsettled there, though. That cost me a fair amount of time there. So we're down a tenth and a half now. Up to 2 tenths down even. And at this point, we've made some of it back up. But we know we have to be solid here for the rest of the run. And good run down the back straight. Able to make up a lot of time to, who's that, Sargent up in front of us. So good there. It is Sargent. And kind of knowing that if he's sitting in 16th, we are much faster than he is, and we should be good. But who knows? Up nearly 4 tenths though this lap, even with that bad first sector where we had that trouble. We end up being nearly 3 tenths up, and we head back to the garage, not waiting to see where we actually come across the line. But let's see here. So we advance through here. We finish in 10th in the session, and advance here. Scrolling down to find Ocon, and he has barely made it into Q2. As he did not make another lap and barely snuck in, so we would have been fine to not make a lap there, but I didn't think it was worth the risk. So heading into Q2, we're going to go to the less worn set of softs that we've already used. Set a banker lap. Now we are kind of debating about using those mediums, but decided probably just best to use the softs, get a banker lap in, and then we get another set of softs if we make it into Q3. So that's kind of what made up my mind. We'll go with the banker lap here. Wait for the track to evolve, as it gets faster as we head later into the session. And then we'll use the fresh set of softs, try and make it into Q3. And a good first corner there. I do also want to mention here, still on full traction control, but I have been doing some extra practice. I do think I can bump down to medium traction control and be okay. However, the AI difficulty is going to need to go down as well in order for me to do that. Still stay competitive. I'm not sure quite what that rating is yet, but would need to come down a little bit of a check up there through the S's, but overall much better lap compared to what I had in that previous session. A lot more consistent, more similar to that first lap in Q1. Moving through here, a little bit of a hiccup, getting back to the throttle, using the overtake button here down the straightaway, and sitting in 6th. Again, just a banker lap, so no pressure as we keep moving. Taking a look at that tire wear, looking at where we're sitting, and as we scroll, we're sitting at the bottom of the table. Not everyone has made their lap. That's kind of what we expected. Joe is only sitting a 10th and a half above us, and Ocon goes faster than us by about 5 tenths, 5.5 actually, and so that really solidifies. Okay, let's go to the fresh set of softs. Debated on the mediums, but my mind was pretty clear. Go to the fresh softs. Really trying to beat Ocon out in this rivalry. Make progress there, advancing through some time, and going back out at that 3:30 mark. That's been a good time for us. It's allowed the track to evolve enough, but no matter what, the track allows us to get out and get a lap in. And really, for any of these tracks, I could probably get in a second lap if I wanted to. Going out at that 3:30 mark, but I never do. Cross with 120 left in the session, and really sending it down into that first corner. Moving here, very nice there, no bobbles at all, and better through there. Not looking great in terms of the delta time at the moment. I mean, we need to make up, what, 5.5 tenths just to get up to our teammate on his first run. Bit of a bobble through that little S section. We've got the DRS open, but here's where we're going to make up a lot of our time through these S's. Gain a lot of time, a bit of a check up there, but still gain a lot of time. And now we are trying to just finish out the lap. Ran just a little bit wide there, but able to carry a lot of it through. And now we are looking better as we move here. Keep going. And we're going to be up. Use the overtake button here. And we're going to be up nearly, actually up exactly 7 tenths. We move back to the main menu. That finishes out Q2. And we have made it into Q3. Ocon is out. We have beat him out with an amazing lap there. And so, as we move into Q3, also what I forgot to mention is the force feedback had gone out halfway through that second Q2 lap, so I had to reset that there. But as we move into Q3, again, get another banker lap in here. Went with a used set of softs. Not using up that fresh set yet. But just looking at the times, seeing where we're going to be at. And that'll give us a better guess. I mean, our main goal is just make it into Q3 as well as to beat out Albon. But this banker lap will help show me Okay, worn set of softs, so we go a little bit wide there. What's the likelihood that we can actually improve our time and move up the order just a little bit more? The other thing I was wondering is, I was really debating on whether it was going to be worth it to try to run here a second lap here in Q3. It's a shorter session in general, plus I was trying to save some tires for the race, but also I wanted to try to get up as high in the order as I could. Try to get some of the extra benefits for our rating. So go ahead, take a look at the time. The new set of softs are going to put us up nearly 1.4 seconds. 1.3 and a half. But looking at our time there, decided it's not really worth it. I even debate going with the mediums for a little bit, but then just decide it's best to keep those for the race. We're down big time compared to everyone else, so just decided not to risk anything here. We'll save them and decide to just advance through the rest of the session here eventually. I'm not sure when that is. Let's take a look here. There we go. As we scroll through some of the menus, yeah, there's just a big gap there. Almost 1.3 seconds that we'd have to make up, and there's just not enough tire left. I don't feel like we could set that much faster of a lap with that tire, so just sell with 10th, and we see how this affects our rating. Experience nothing, racecraft nothing, awareness nothing. Pace goes up by 400, which I was kind of expecting some more with being up the grid. We're 6 positions up the grid compared to where we were expected to be. So I expect a little bit more there, but it may just be one of those things where it's either up or you're down, and it gives you the same value either way. So heading off to the race, checking the messages, taking a look at some of the R&D, going ahead and getting that chassis department upgrade in the works, and getting ready to head into the race. I was kind of confused by this because I know I set all those objectives or goals at the beginning of the episode, so it's a little confused by this, but I think those are going to be available to me heading into the next race. So I think that may still be a little bit off, maybe something that needs to be fixed in a patch just when those are popping up for us. But we go ahead and head into the race. I will shut up.
This circuit missed a few years off the F1 calendar, and we missed Albert Park. So welcome back, and it's great to be back in Melbourne. Welcome to the Australian Grand Prix. The Melbourne circuit is certainly one that needs to be taken seriously. It's a combination of slippery surfaces and difficult corners, making it a very tricky track when it comes to overtaking. Drivers find it hard to pass and will need to take full advantage of those DRS zones if they want to have any hope of breaking through. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday and he'll start from pole position. And it's Fernando Alonso alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Sainz, Norris, Perez, Russell, Stroll, Hamilton, Bottas, Benjamin, Leclerc, Albon, Oscar Piastri, Ocon, Joe, Ricciardo, Sargent, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And alongside me for the first time this season here in the commentary box, Naomi Schiff. Hello, Gnomes. Now, we had great fun watching them win last time out. What a great victory it was. But can they carry that into today's race?
Well, they're certainly in a great position. It's always great to just come off of a win. The momentum's there, the team are working well together, and so is the car. So what they've got to do is just keep building on that. Don't change a winning formula. Keep it simple and keep doing what you're doing.
And as we jump back into things, looking at some of the strategy, not knowing what exactly to expect with the longer race, trying to look at some customization, looking at maybe changing some stuff up. I like the idea of a two-stop, but the tires look like they fall off quite quickly. Even comparing them in terms of time, you lose a lot more time doing a two-stop. And here's where I discover I didn't do the saving the softs quite right. In qualifying, because we do not start out with a fresh set, and that kind of screws us in terms of strategy. I think a two-stop would have worked really well had we had fresh tires, but apparently we did not have a fresh set of softs, so that kind of screws any sort of two-stop strategy without having a soft tire to bank on. So we decide to go with the one stop. Now it's a matter of, do I move the end lap? And I was trying to look, I don't know what these little graphs are showing. That's what was confusing me here. I keep going back and forth between them. But eventually just decide to keep it as is. And we are off to the race. And off into it, starting in 10th. And decent getaway here, but we're getting split out of the gas early, just trying to buy our time. So we move our way through, making sure not to damage the car here early and maintain our position, just right behind Hamilton. As it's going to be a long race, need to make sure. We've always had a tendency of damaging the car early, and it does not set us up well for success. So with our good starting spot, making sure that we set ourselves up here, using lots of ERS here early to make sure we stick with the pack. And we were kind of getting eaten alive by Leclerc, but we're able to make our way back up to Hamilton, right on his gearbox there, and a massive dive there that somehow works. I know I said I wasn't taking any risks, but that one paid off, as we are now up into 8th. And we'll see what we do. We have used up quite a bit of the battery here though, which seems to be very, very important on this game. Need to have that ERS available to you, especially in times of defending. If you do not have ERS while being attacked, then you're in a lot of ways screwed. So we are running quite low really here on the battery, and as we move forward, just trying to stick with BOTAS, running a little wide there, little mistakes here. We are out of the ERS, which is really going to hurt us here. Russell's going to take a look. We do have the DRS, which is going to help us out, but without the ERS to help us, it's going to slowly be a losing battle. Have DRS here again, and we nearly overcooked that corner. We were definitely hot into it, but just trying to maintain that distance to BOTAS. We're going to get in alive if we lose the DRS to BOTAS. Using some ERS here, as Russell is going to have that DRS on us as well, and trying to make our way through here. The trouble is that BOTAS has the DRS from Stroll up ahead of him, and Russell is able to get alongside me here, and we try to go around the outside. It does work here, but means that we have lost BOTAS for good. Russell now takes a move to inside. We saved up some ERS there, using it here, but it's not going to be enough to really hold them off in the long term, as they have the DRS along with probably some ERS as well. That set of corners is going to help us out, though. We are very good through there, and we've got enough of a gap that we are able to defend down into the stern and move forward. Russell tries to make a move there, but we're able to go around the outside. We left the inside open for him, and a little hot into that corner as well, but significantly hinders our launch out. Using up a lot of ERS here
And gap to the car in front,
to defend.
3.6 seconds.
A little bit shaken up by that curb there as well. We've got another DRS straight here, using up all that ERS, trying to defend. Getting a little hot there, but we're able to keep defending and moving forward. But the trouble is we've used up a lot of that ERS early in the lap trying to defend. It doesn't leave us in a good spot for defending on this back straight. So we just try to bide our time, as we are down to 4% down that back straightaway trying to defend. We're good here, but we've got nothing to defend. There's another short straight here, and Russell gets past. I tried to hit the overtake button and instead hit the downshift. That significantly hurt me as well. So as Russell gets past, trying to stick with him to have the DRS. Got into that curb a little bit hard there. That's going to unsettle the car some. Using that DRS, we are on none, I do believe, at the moment in terms of the overall deploy. Just because I was trying to save so much through here to try to have a fighting chance against these guys. Ran Hamilton out a little bit wide here, and trying to stick with Russell to get the DRS of Russell, but we're falling out of that range, so we're going to have to rely on the ERS, and we've got plenty of it. The objective was to keep it below like 277 degrees Fahrenheit. or not to let go above that temperature for 10 seconds for like 4 laps. So using up all that overtake there, it gets us back close to Russell, as that's a very strong part of the track there. So as long as we're able to save enough ERS, it kind of shows us that we're able to make that happen. Get the DRS back here, using some of it up, defend against Leclerc. He's going to have a look. We send it down into turn 1. Trouble with having Leclerc there though, as it's going to make it hard to get back up to Russell. And Leclerc, yeah, that basically shoots ourselves in the foot, being able to get back up to Russell with not having enough battery to defend against Leclerc. And we're also hurt here in terms of how much battery we have to run down this straight. We want that as full as possible to be able to defend against the DRS, as it's not the best side corners there on the initial curb, very hard there. But we're able to defend, drain all that battery down. And now we go into the long process of saving it all once again. As decent corner there. I've also been using some ERS here, as you can see on the straightaway. But I use quite a lot of it here. That's going to make it very hard to defend. But to be fair, Leclerc was coming at us very hard there. And had we not used some there, he would have overtaken us. But he overtakes us anyway there. Got into him just a little bit there, but no damage, thankfully. And we keep moving. But now it's going to be trying to keep up with Leclerc now for that DRS. In hopes that he can try to pull us along. If you look down in the lower left-hand corner, it is completely a DRS train. We're running out of ERS here quite quickly with having to defend against Leclerc and all that, but we did have the DRS, which helped us there, allowed us to not have to use as much of that battery to defend against Hamilton. Butson in
Okay, be aware, the grip levels are going to start
10th at the moment, using some more ERS here, have the DRS,
Nice work, you smashed
and
it. Really good
we
job.
never
Keep
really
that
dealt
target,
with any of the engine temperature like they were saying, so it was quite an easy objective to complete. But now, as we move forward, Hamilton is still making moves on us, and we've kind of lost grips with Leclerc, and we're going to be outside that DRS range now. We do have a full battery here, so implementing that and trying to do all we can to defend against Hamilton. And what ultimately ends up happening here, though, is in the process of trying to make sure we're safe from Hamilton, so we have pulled back up to Leclerc. So very nice there. Back close enough to get that DRS, as long as we can stick with them through the next few corners in order to have it down the front straightaways. And we do a very good job. Up on the curb there just a little bit, but we keep moving through and using some of that ERS here. Stick with them.
Okay, so we're leading
Also defend and catching up decently into that first corner as well. And having that DRS is definitely helping us. Hamilton's still right there though. Making sure that we save plenty of ERS. Keep moving. We're a little wide there. It's going to hurt us trying to get back to Leclerc. She's pulled away once again out of DRS range. Got battery though, not as much as before, but may give us a chance to catch back up to Leclerc, which would allow me to again get back into that DRS range. And already we were right there, as maybe those tires are starting to fall off for Leclerc a little bit more than us. We were absolutely cooking that left front at the moment. It's getting quite hot. But yes, we've definitely caught back up to Leclerc on this lap. So this is kind of the strategy moving forward. And it also appears that we are slowly catching Russell as well. As he had pulled away to about 3-second lead, but now he's down into 2-second range. Leclerc pulls away some here. Had to use up a fair amount of ERS there to defend against Hamilton. Oh, we still got the DRS. And need to defend hard against Hamilton here. He's going to make it hard to be able to keep up with Leclerc and continue to get that DRS for down.
Battery charge is high. Let's use that overtake button.
That front straightaway. We know the ERS is high. That's because we're using it all down this one straightaway, essentially. Trying to catch back up to Leclerc. There's quite a big gap there with having to fight Hamilton. And I know it's going to be close here. But we set a purple sector 2. And we were able to catch up with Leclerc. That was huge there. And we have used up all the battery there. And very nice there. We were caught back up to him. And definitely catching Russell. He may have cooked his tires early in that run. Not only trying to get past us, but then also trying to get away. As we were definitely closer there. So back in the DRS. Leclerc starts to pull away. We use some ERS to defend against Hamilton.
Approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hard.
And don't feel like we're as much in as bad of a position here. But we've got Hamilton coming back down the outside, and he is able to get past me there. Couldn't really defend it. But what's going to happen here is we still got that battery charge that we've been saving for Leclerc. We're going to use it, be able to use it on Hamilton here, along with some DRS that we're going to get from him. So we're using it up just as we have been. We're going to go around the outside, and we were making massive gains there, and we maybe even be able to catch up to Leclerc, and we have done it. We have absolutely done it. We have caught up back to Leclerc after being overtaken by Hamilton, so it doesn't really hinder us in any way there, having dropped the position there for a short amount of time. So we've got the DRS here once again, and it honestly kind of sets us up even better in terms of having a better store of ERS. We're in a better position. We've got a few more percent there to work with, so we're in a better spot when it comes to heading into that long straight. So approaching the pit window here though, and we are catching Russell in comparison to where Leclerc is at. My only worry here is that Leclerc catches the DRS of Russell and is able to pull away from us. We're using up all that ERS just as we have been. Leclerc is definitely in DRS range now of Russell, whether he was in it before. Using up all the ERS there again. He definitely was in the DRS range of Russell. But it's going to be really close, whether we're close enough here to Leclerc to get that DRS, and we are. Now we just need to save some battery here. Able to do the same thing as just need to stay with them.
In this lap, push now.
We're in this lap. Anyways, Leclerc gets a little checked up
Losing a small amount of time to the
by
car
Russell
behind,
there.
just keep
So
pushing.
there's a group of us here, all clumped together. And I'm noticing now that we have begun to get a little bit separated here. So
Okay, mate, Leclerc ahead. Can't let them
we are
hold
now
up for
being
too long.
pushed
Let's
to
try
try to
and
get past
as soon
Leclerc.
as possible.
We're not really in
Crack on.
striking
Push,
distance,
push.
but we deployed that ERS as early as possible, trying to get that overtake done before we head into the pits. As we know, it's going to be very difficult to do that after we head into the pits.
Remember,
Sending
box
it down
this
into
lap.
that
Keep
corner.
an eye on your distance and speed limit line as
Using
you
up
approach,
all
and
the
make sure you don't
ERS,
speed.
the little bit that we have left. And we've just got not enough time. We're going to try to send it down here, and we kind of back out of it there. Leclerc has some oversteer there. Gets into us just a little bit, but no damage there. One last ditch effort there, but we're just going to follow him down pit road, try to get him after the pit stop cycle. And nice pit stop there.
Okay, don't worry about that target for now. Let's just
And
focus on this
good
pit
turn
stop.
in. I'm a little bit bad still getting this release,
Okay, let's go now.
but I think it's partially
Perfect
because
job on the turn,
Leclerc
mate. Looks like a
was
nice
right
stop
there when
time.
we
We're
needed
happy
to.
with that one.
The objective was also postponed with having the pit stops there, and cold tires are not playing very nice with us at the moment. Trying to stick with Leclerc, seeing what we can do there. Definitely find the cold tires there. Overcook the corner, and now we're just hoping that we have enough ERS saved up. Trying to use a lot here, trying to stay within DRS range. In hindsight, maybe just should have saved that and tried to get him down the straightaway here. We're using up everything we've got here. Hamilton's got DRS still. We send it down into the corner and have a lot more grip there than we have been having with the new tires, and send it pretty aggressively down into that corner as well, and just trying to stay close enough to get DRS here, and it's very close, but we do not get any DRS here, so now we are kind of in trouble. We don't have much ERS, and Hamilton's going to get by us. We're going to go around the outside, and Leclerc has now jumped Russell. We're right behind Russell,
Tire condition still looking good.
but we are on a lap older, which in terms of right out of the gate, it's actually better for us. We've saved up some ERS, not as much as I would have liked, but we are going to have some DRS here, so it's going to allow us to save some, using some ERS here early.
The car ahead of you's just fitted the hard tires. Car ahead now on the
See
hard
what it does
tires.
for us when we've got that DRS. Out of the ERS now, trying to save some of that. Missed a little bit of a shift there, but we're going to keep going. And that DRS is definitely helping us. And I smacked that curb, and it messes with my shifting, and that's not good at all. So also hit that curb, so now I'm in a great spot here, and I missed out on DRS here, so now we are at the mercy of Hamilton. We've still got a long ways to go, so right now we're just trying to recoup. We let Hamilton go to the outside here. knowing that we were in a good enough spot to defend. Kind of force him out wide there, hold him back. Keep moving here.
Okay, mate. I know you've had a couple of ops, but don't worry about it. Get your
And
head down. Let's just focus on keeping the next few
the
laps within the white
engineer,
line.
even though we haven't had any sort of warnings, getting honest about staying on track. So now, kind of being tentative, we have to stay on track for 4 laps. Still good through there. A little bit of a checkup there, but we've used up all the battery and sent it down against Hamilton. Caught the curb a little bit, forced him out, and he's going to go down the inside that we allow him the room, and that's going to give us DRS for the straight. See how that sets us up. And we're going to go here. For once, we've actually got the DRS on that straight, and we were able to catch up to Hamilton quite a lot there. And as Albon, no, that's Piastri. No, it's Albon makes a move up the outside, trying to get an overtake there as Hamilton has just gone past us. We're pushing hard to try to stick with Hamilton here. Using up the battery. We've got the DRS, which is going to help us. Using up a lot of battery here now. And we're running the gearbox. We get into the back of him just a little bit, but no damage, thankfully. Keep moving, and we're able to stick with him actually very closely. Much better through that corner that time. And we keep moving. And once again, we've got this straightaway that we can utilize. DRS, we've got the ERS as well. Using some of that, and we're able to catch up to Hamilton quite a lot with the DRS. So I'm thinking we're running about the same lap times. It's just a matter of who has access to that DRS. So just trying to see. It may benefit us to just stay behind them. And then he's currently sitting in 10th place, so as long as we can stay behind them, there may be opportunities such as down this straightaway and through there, where we can utilize the DRS as well as the ERS just in that case, and be over to overtake him and say, or on say, the last lap, take away that final points paid position. So we move here with that in mind. We're going to experiment with it some, see if we're truly there, or if it's just because of where the tires are at in the current stage. But we're definitely there. Could have gone for a move. So you can see I'm getting out of the throttle early. Not to, just so we can stay behind him, just so we can experiment some. And even through that corner, we're able to catch up to him quite a lot. We have a massive run here with the DRS. We used some ERS, but it's very obvious that the possibility for an overtake late in the race, as long as we can stay with him, is a possibility as he covers off that inside. We're out of the throttle early, we're braking early, as it has become the mission to just stick with Hamilton, let him lead the way until that final lap comes around.
Okay, we need to push now. Use the overtake button for more power.
So we do just that, making sure to stick with him enough on the front straightaway, not like so he doesn't get too far ahead. We don't want that happening. You stay within DRS range. Not that we won't have enough ERS to be able to get back to him, but definitely would not set us up the best, because right now we're sitting really well with the amount of battery we have and being able to manage that. So just playing on for the next 10 laps, riding behind Hamilton, no mistakes, not taking any damage, just running consistently, letting out the throttle early so we actually stay behind them, and hoping that everything goes to plan and that we can just kind of swoop in and save the day. And yeah, we've run super consistent here so far. There's one thing I'm noticing about this point that I'm not sure is going to happen, but I don't want to say it and jinx it. So if you know what I'm thinking about at this point, let me know down in the comments below what you think. I'm thinking I'm going to possibly accomplish in this race as long as everything goes to plan. And I believe it would be the first time I've ever done it in an F1 game. Certainly in the first time in this game, and I don't believe I ever did it in F1 23. So it'd be pretty amazing if it happens. Let me know down in the comments below if you know what it is. Out of the throttle way early there with Hamilton. And a massive run there. Showing over and over again that we do have the speed down that straightaway to overtake if we need to. A little bit slow through that corner, but it's alright. We've got some time to work with. And as we keep moving here, let's get away just a little bit, so we use some ERS. And at this point, I also have the ERS to a medium deploy. I don't really have to think about it that way. Forget when exactly I switched that, but I did switch that during the sequence of staying behind Hamilton, just so I wouldn't have to worry about it as much. I could use the overtake one as I wanted to, but for the most part I was just relying on the medium deploy to keep me right where I wanted to be, maintain that battery level. And still just a massive runs on Hamilton, way out of the gas early there, even into the back of him a little bit, but no damage. And out of the gas way early there. The only problem is that Albon is still right on our tail. We got a little mini DRS train running here, but I'm not that worried about it. I just don't want to lose Hamilton because he seems to be the one that we can run this strategy with. I'm not sure if I can run it with anyone else. So still able to catch up with them. And we are slowly starting to catch the cars in front, I'm starting to notice. As that was up to a decent margin to Leclerc. But now maybe he's starting to reel him back in. Maybe he cooked his tires early in the run. That's always a possibility. So as Hamilton and I keep moving here, maybe you should think about a leapfrogging tactic, but I'm not sure if that would really necessarily be a good idea. So just going to stay here behind Hamilton. We've made up a lot of time already, so we're just going to see if we can catch him on raw pace. But with not wanting to give up I'd rather have the basically guaranteed option at one point rather than trying to go for more points and then ending up with 0 because I made a stupid mistake or just overused the resources, and then I'm not able to run the same strategy or whatever it may be. So just sticking behind Hamilton. About 5.5 laps to go, and tires are definitely starting to wear it's a little bit. But overall, not feeling too bad with where we're at. As Hamilton is just towing us along as he has been, but he seems as slow as ever. We're going to push him down this straightaway, so we've got the DRS way out early, making sure he doesn't slam on the brakes and we get caught up by it.
We've got a lot of spare energy.
Yeah, we've got a lot of spare energy. Whatever. I, however, do not. It's going to be after 1 o'clock in the morning before I get done with this recording. It's going to be 2 o'clock before I get to bed, but kind of my fault for not making sure it was recording right. So just it was kind of boring to sit behind Hamilton, but it was also forcing me to stay really consistent and how I was running, which is really key in terms of getting that driver rating up,
Okay, mate.
as well as just
try to be consistent with it going forward, please.
learning how to race better overall, being able to maintain that consistency. They want me to deploy the overtake mode for 1.5 seconds per lap for the next 4 laps. Overcooked that corner just a little bit, but we're okay. So I used some ERS as soon as it told me to deploy it. So we're good for this lap. And we just have to do that till the end of the race, making sure we use it for 1.5 seconds. So I'll use some here, just as some extra. Use some as we come across the line as well, as we go quite hot into turn 1. And we've already used up our quota. Well, not necessarily a quota, but all that we've needed to use for the lap already. But we'll probably use some on the back straightaway as well, just to use some of it. And in terms of the pace of a race, I think we're much faster than Hamilton for an overall lap. However, I still like this strategy a lot more. That's why it allows us to work on conserving the resources, only using them when we need to. I guess they're early. Again, we've already met our quota for the lap for the ERS, so keep moving. We'll use some here, I'm guessing, as well. There we go. Up and overtake. Just a little spritz. Little spritz here. Not going quite have enough done there, so I believe I used some here as well. Nope, maybe not. And overcorrected just a little bit into that corner. Albon's trying to get really aggressive in these last 3 laps. Really over the last 5 laps, he's been aggressive. Going into the last 5 laps of the race, he's been aggressive. But the last 3 laps, he knows he's got to get past this, and he's got shot at the points, just like we do. But we've got plenty of resources to defend against it, as well as stay with Hamilton, just as I have it planned. Let out the throttle there, just a lot of time spent out of the throttle. And I did not realize how long I spent on this little menu screen. It's not really showing me anything, but at this point I just need to complete 2 more laps consistently in order to realistically
You've lost some time to the car behind.
get a point here in only our 3rd race of the season, and we get into back in Hamilton just a little bit there, went way too hot, but a point here at this point of the season is not going to happen for quite a while. It may not even happen again in the Alpine. It may have to wait until we're in another car at some point, assuming that we can sign with another team at some point. So we'll have to kind of see there, but I genuinely believe that this may be the best car I get all season, because it's just been on rails this entire race, and we qualified 6 positions higher than we were expected to, using up a lot of ERS here. We didn't have the best run through that last little bit,
Okay, this is your
but
final
making
lap.
sure we stick
Final
with
lap of the race.
Hamilton. We're back to where we want to be. Got that DRS here again, using up some ERS. It is the last lap, we don't really need to save it anymore. Just making sure we don't overcook that corner. Very nice. And getting ready for big release of energy. Tagged the wall there just a little bit. No damage though. And going green through that first sector. As I'm sure we're using up all the fuel, all the ERS, and using the DRS. We're going to have a massive head of steam here. Going around the outside once again on Hamilton. Already done that once before.
Okay, the car ahead. 3,
Making our way
8
through that
seconds.
little S's section. Using up more ERS, get the DRS still, and we've formed a gap. And we dive down into that corner. May have been able to catch Russell and Leclerc if we'd really tried, but again, it wasn't worth the risk of losing points. And we are going to come across the line with points. Absolutely cooked that left front, but overall the tires still felt really good at the end of that race. So let's see what we do here. You can see I'm absolutely exhausted there. Having to concentrate the entire time, not to make any mistakes. Really did not make any major mistakes that race at all, which was really nice.
Really help them gain confidence
But,
and start to build that momentum that they're really be looking for.
As we move here, just still, even after watching it again, still an utter shock that we were able to do that much there. And going through the standings, Verstappen, Sainz, Norris, Stroll, Alonso, Perez, Bottas, Leclerc, Russell, ourselves. Starting started the race in the same position that we ended. I'm taking a look here at the different times. Not terrible best lap time, but not great either. Verstappen absolutely would have cooked us if we were racing up by him. Hamilton ran 6 cents slower. He must have been quite a bit slower than us, though we did have some good runs on him with the ERS and DRS as well. So Hamilton, Piastri, Albon, Guan Yu, Magnussen, Ricardo, Tsunoda, Ocon down in 18th, losing 4 spots on the race. Sargent and Hulkenberg. So let's bring it back to the main menu. See how this affects the ratings and all that stuff, as well as the rivalry with Ocon. Should be making massive gains there between the qualifying and the better race result, as well as having some points. We saw that earlier. That does impact some of that as well if you're paying attention to that rival screen. So yeah, big race for us here. Let's move it back on into the main menu as we advance here, and we are now leading the rivalry. As you see us celebrating there, 3 out of 6 versus Ocon's 2 out of 6. Different categories that we're leading, and ratings. Experience goes up, racecraft goes up, awareness is up, pace is up, and focus is up big time. Kind of expected the overall rating to go up a little bit more there. Let's jump into the details. Get experience from leading the team rivalry, as well as that little objective, keeping the engine cool. Racecraft 16 overtakes, as well as the rivalry. Probably could have gained more by a higher finishing position than starting position, but I'm pretty happy with where we finished. No penalties, no warnings either, as well as the teammate rivalry, the objective, and no DNF. The pace, rivalry, and the objective, and the focus 6 spots higher than expected. Also, the thing I did not want to jinx is we did not take any damage to the car at all. We did not gain any recognition, and we moved through the specialist stuff. I don't think I've ever gone a race in F1 races at all without damaging a wing. I'm almost certain I've not gone an episode in F1 23 without doing that. Let me know if I'm wrong there, but I'm almost certain there. We've got another part that has failed, and next episode we'll have a secret meeting to go to. Again, saving that for next episode, as that'll be something new to see what that does. And we are leading that rivalry. We have the championship point, the highest qualifying position, and best finishing position. Ocon is leading qualifying results and race results, and I forget what the last one is. It's covered up by the camera. What is it? I don't remember. So we're leading 3 compared to the Ocon's 2. We're only out 1 spot or 1 point in both the qualifying and the race result screen. So yeah, hope you're enjoying this series, guys. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Please share this with your friends. Please subscribe if you're new. We're trying to grow the channel slowly. I think this is going to be a big part of it. I hope you like the longer race. I think that's going to be a staple from here on out. But hope you have a great rest of your day, and we will see you in the next one.